another key for this was respecting boundaries and protocol. And um, we talk about our organizations, but we don't talk protocol and we don't talk club business. For instance, you have invited me to events that you guys are hosting. I invite you to events that we're hosting. I invite you, hey man, I let you know when something's going on that you guys should hand in the best interest of your organization. You do exactly the same for us. I know I keep tabs on your guys, how you guys are doing this and that. That's awesome. We focus on the positive, but we do not discuss club business. It's important for us, right? So the club business thing is something that I mean, in a motorcycle club, you don't disclose club business, but you cannot pillow talk, as you will. You cannot say, hey, I know he's close to me and he's not part of the club. He's an MM, so I shouldn't be. It's not a problem. So what do you say about that?
Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Garage. Ozzy and Abner talking nonsense by the truckload. Just having fun, having a blast. So welcome back. Today we're gonna have a really interesting episode. Ozzy, what are we talking about, man?
Well, dude, as we are talking about when Brotherhood stayed beyond the colors, right? And when it's one of the things that is hard and it's understood. We'll say we're in motorcycle clubs, not in gangs and that kind of stuff. But when someone leave that organization, and most of the time it's kind of like forgotten. Like we're no longer friends or we're no longer brothers, and that brotherhood that we used to swear to each other is no longer there. You know what I mean? So, but it could be doable, right? Like there's a lot of intentionality that needs to happen. You still can be friends. I always say to people, man, just because you move away or you moved on, or doesn't mean that the relationship has to end.
Not at
Needs
all.
to be managed. It needs to be managed. It's different, but it doesn't mean that needs to end. So that's what we're discussing here, and basically, brotherhood beyond colors. When you patch is in your only family, and let me make an emphasis in here in saying that there is a lot of people that share your patch. They might share your patch, you guys, but that is the only thing that you might have in common with those people, right? So, and you and I were part of organizations that are not only in the United States all over, but also in other countries, right? So it is hard to have that relationship and say, hey, you know what? I am part of this is my brother. You refer to them, the word brother means something different. And so, so that's what we're discussing in here.
Yeah. No, and you know what? I think that you hit on something really important, which is the intentionality of it, right? If you want to maintain relationships and those bonds, you have to work at it. And again, right? I would say I would dare to say that even when you have the patch, sometimes you can drift away while wearing the patches, right? People kind of get into different things. They change a little bit. We are humans and we are always evolving. So I think that the intentionality of it's across the board. With the patch, it's obviously going to be way more evidenced and clear when you don't share that patch. But yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about being intentional.
So listen, man, I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna try to frame it with my own experience, right? When you and I we were part of the same organization, and I walk away from that organization. I went to an MC. Uh, at the very beginning, I went to nowhere. I was just hanging out by myself, and that made it a little bit easier to still kind of have a relationship with you. But when I went into my organization, now I'm a prospect, so I don't have the time to hang out with you. I see you at church, and when we're serving, and the relationship is a little bit awkward because now this is your my organization versus your organization, if you will. I don't. I mean, it wasn't like that, but it was more of uh, how do we manage this relationship? Because in the motorcycle club or in the motorcycle community, there is something that we call club business, and we just want to keep that, right? We want to keep our club business, club business. So for me to find that balance was a little bit difficult. Actually, I venture to say that we didn't ride together, but after a year, when I
Yeah.
was, after a year or something like that, it's
And
when
there
we
was
were able to.
and there was that also was intentional. I was
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
and
took we took
it
we took a hiatus, right?
it
We
was
said, you know what?
necessary. It's necessary.
We need to create some separation
Yeah.
because we were too close, and I couldn't form, or I couldn't be part of forming the chapter here if my mind was still thinking on my boy, my boy, my boy. And I was extremely adamant of parting ways, clean, meaning I am going to go. I am not taking no one with me. I am not going to damage these organizations. That was part of my thing. But listen, it was it was difficult. And I'm gonna be honest with you. There's certain relationships, some people that I consider, close brothers, if you will, and we don't always talk. We're no longer communicating. All right. And like in an organization, the ones that leave are the ones that call you. Hey man, and and it was kind of funny because at some point I said, oh, so naturally they call you to find out what you did, what you left, or to talk crap about the organization. And those are relationships that you don't want in your life.
Mm.
Those are relationship because it's disrespectful to that organization, but it's disrespectful to yourself. More importantly, you don't want those relationships. You don't want someone that is calling you to say, "Do you see? Yeah, I know it was a nightmare. No, that guy didn't, bro. Like, for the love of God, like you should be better than that. That's especially because we are two Christians organizations, right? But that happened, Amner. That happened. What do you remember of that season?
No, listen, man. I will be 100% honest, and this is like as we always do. We are keeping it unfiltered, right? And we're gonna be talking totally honest, as always. And there was a lot of hurt. Uh, I was hurt. I was because we built something from the ground up, and I didn't understand. And I've talked about this a lot of times, or if I've mentioned it before, is that not always do we need to understand everything. We just have to keep soldiering on. And that season, I remember I didn't understand the reasons, but it wasn't my reason, right? It was your reasons. So there was some hurt, and that is why I remember saying, listen, let's take a break, and you do you. Go through it. I'm glad that you're doing whatever you're doing. We need a little bit of time to take stock and to just find ourselves, feel ourselves into whatever we're gonna do, and kind of because we were always together doing ministry. That was
Yeah,
We were always together. So it took that time. However, I was very clear in knowing that I still love you. You're still my boy. And I wasn't going to forsake the relationship because of the hurt. I had to just think about it and understand it's going to take me a minute to process. And when the time came that it was all right, it's done. We should be clean. That happened. What was done is done. Let's move forward. And we started to link up again, and let's ride. Let's see each other. Let's talk it up. Let's chop it up. Because now it was no longer about, oh, what happened. No, now you're moving forward. We're moving forward over on our end of the street. Let's just let's move forward, and let's let's work on being as close as we can without blurring the lines, without doing getting everything kind of mixed up, and getting into too many details of this, that, the other. Staying right in our lanes, but relationally there's no reason for not being able to stay as close as possible as we were. And that was very intentional. We would, I don't know if we want to get into that now, but
no, 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 not right now. But something that I wanna, something that I wanna. I don't know if that was wisdom because
it's
like, we never talk about it, right? Like that was wisdom on our part, and I think that was very healthy to do so. Um, remember one of the I remember we will see each other, and I will go on a car, like on a cage. You never on a motorcycle, never on a motorcycle. And I remember reason being is because you are in an man, and I'm NC, I'm the president of NC, so So effectively, which you always did. You always were the tail owner, but I never wanted to put you in a position where it was weird. Riding with my group that you have to go in the back, that was weird. That was a weird position. And so the first time that we rode, I think was when Bam Bam was down here and we went to the Keys. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was a glorious ride. Though. It was a
That was a
glorious day
beautiful,
that we went.
yes.
It was a beautiful day. We went to the Keys
Yeah.
and we went down. I don't remember, man. It was Marathon Glamorra. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
All the
was a
way down.
nice restaurant. So we put some nice miles and we just went for some fish and whatnot. And it was good. But even there, we just said, you know what, we're riding no cuts, and that's what we did, man.
Yeah.
Nobody wearing cuts, and it was cool. But listen, there are some keys that we had. I mean, you mentioned one already, which is intentionality, right? And the intentionality was something that was key. In still texting each other, saying, "Hey, what's going on, bro? How you doing?" And still talking about something else that were not motorcycle related. How you guys doing? I mean, we kept tabs with each other because social media and whatnot. Well, I did, but you did mention that part of your intentionality was like, "Hey, man, I need to put you on mute for a second
Yeah,
on
no,
social media."
I muted you. No shame to my game. I muted you. I didn't want to see
Oh, that's good,
anything.
bro.
And because, right, I didn't. So this is where we need to be very, very understanding, guys and gals, whoever's listening. Be honest with yourself. If seeing something hurts you and is going to damage your heart for that person, then be smart about it and avoid it, right?
Why
Because
so?
you don't want to keep on feeding the flames of that fire of discontent, of hurt. So be smart and you take a minute, and it's hard because social media puts everything in your face. So and you can equate this to almost like when you're separating from your spouse, or you're taking a minute, or maybe a marriage is taking a little bit of separation, and it's that awkward phase, whatever it is, and you don't want to harbor bad feelings for that person, and they're moving on and they're doing other things, and it's going to hurt you. Be smart about it. cut it Cut that, nip it in the bud. I did that. I would unmute him in my social media, and every 30 days I would unmute it. And again, I'm not doing it because I didn't block him from my social media. I didn't tell him, hey, unfriend. I didn't unfriend him. It's not about that. It's about, the purpose was, let me take a beat and let him do what he's doing. I don't want to need to know. I don't need to know. I will eventually get past this, and it's not going to be hurtful for myself. That's something that you need to be mindful of and be, like Ozzy was just mentioning, intentional.
Intentional. So focus on the good, right? Like focus on. Hey, dude, how you doing, man? How's the fam? Let's grab something to eat. Let's go for pizza. Uh, le-
And in our case, we found another another we bonded on another realm also, which was, we would go and we would enjoy a nice cigar, and we would just, let's find something else that we can also enjoy.
something else that we can enjoy.
And then we focused on that, and praise God, because that was it's a great thing, right? Because when you have somebody that you love, that you bond together, man, and we have the greatest time just laughing at each other, and more importantly, laughing at others. So when we do that, we just, that was a great opportunity to say, you know what? Yeah, we may not be rocking the same colors or cuts or the different organizations. We're moving on. We still love the Lord. We still love Jesus. We still love spreading the gospel and sharing the gospel in our different ways. Let's find another way that we can meet eye to eye and just keep enjoying our friendship and sharpening each other, right? Because that's what I get out of our relationship. It's that iron sharpens iron.
It's awesome, and it was good that the Harley Davidson CEO was the world guy because we believe it or not, that guy making fun of the guy was, it was like, bro, you seen this guy? So that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. And there's not a lack of characters to make fun of. So that's pretty cool. So the deals that we did is that,
It's all in
the
love,
respect.
though. It's all in love. It's all in love.
No, no, no. Sometimes you say the meanest things ever. I was like, God, you're supposed to be Christian. So another key for this was respecting boundaries and protocol, man. And um, we talk about our organizations, but we don't talk protocol and we don't talk club business. So, for instance, you have invited me to events that you guys are hosting. I invite you to events that we're hosting, and I invite you. Hey, man, I let you know when something's going on that you guys should hand in the best interest of your organization. You do exactly the same for us. I know I keep tabs on your guys, how you guys are doing this and that. You know, that's awesome. We focus on the positive, but we do not discuss club business. It's important for us, right? So the club business thing is something that, I mean, in a motorcycle club, you don't disclose club business, but you cannot pillow talk, as you will, as you will. You know, you cannot say, "Hey, I know he's close to me and he's not part of the club. He's an MM, so I shouldn't be. It's not a problem." So what do you say about that, buddy?
No, again, right? I think that it's how can I say this? It's we have different lanes, right? So just we keep things on different sides of the street, and that's it. They don't need to commingle, and they don't. We don't need to share that information because it's not germane to what we're doing. We keep each other honest on that, and that's important because we're just meeting together on whatever is our common ground. It's the bikes, it's the love of the Lord, and our ministerial experiences, right? We would share stuff that, "Hey, listen, man, I had a great opportunity to minister," and then all those are testimonies, actually, right? So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
just to feed the faith. And I would love to hear when you would
Absolutely.
tell me, "Hey, listen, man, we've been able to pray for people, and we're reaching out, and we did this event, and it was really good, and outreach that we can share." Listen, all that is good, and I think that it's important that we understand that we can coexist in a space, but we don't have to necessarily be attached to the hip. So I think that respect of the rules and the protocol and the just to respecting our organizations and our space within the community, that is key to being able to look past the fact that we're not in the same organization, and that we really don't have to be able to get along and keep feeding the friendship and being brothers, in that sense, right? We are brothers in Christ and our organizations, and we're brothers on the road if we find each other and we ride together whenever we do. So
Yeah, yeah,
definitely
yes.
respecting the boundaries. That's super important.
And
And
respective protocol
yeah.
is important. Listen, man, something that I don't know if I mentioned this to you ever, but I have my Sayer arm reaching out to National Sayer Arms to say, "Hey, this is the case. This is this guy's best friend. This is Press' best friend. They love their organization. They love ride with the bike. They want to ride together. They don't want to involve. They just want to go for breakfast. They don't want the whole um entourage, if you will. They don't want, just don't want it's kinda it's kinda like their date. They just wanna hang out and just shoot the breeze, and that's it. What is the protocol? The Sayan Irons and National Sayan Irons, let them ride together, let them ride with patches, and let them have a good time. The protocol should be that someone picks the tab one day, the other one picks the tab the other day. So there's like, bro, this is no protocol, man. Like, just you guys are just reaching out, making it reaching out to us. You're making it. We know that you guys care and you guys are trying to be respectful of it. But it's just that. It's just the intention.
Yeah. True. Facts. Facts.
Yeah, yeah. So listen, we have First Corinthians 14:40 that says, let all things be done decently and in order. And I just want to bring this to just gonna land this into, this is not just motorcycle clubs. This is not just motorcycle organization. Man, in relationships with family, and you know this, that you have family relationship with families, you have business dealing with family, there is business dealing with family, and then there is a, hey, let's go for lunch together, right? Like, so everything has to have an order, man. God is a God of order. We honor God when we do things decently and in order, and that applies to men. It could be my wife. That doesn't mean that I have to take her credit card and just go to town with her. You know what I mean? and we could be friends, but that doesn't mean that I just gonna go in. Uh, everything needs to have an order. Everything has to have an order. Everything has to be done in an orderly fashion, because that's how we honor God.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that, that so when you see that, right, that verse, right, let all things be done decently and in order. I think that it's, with the right purpose, right? No, and that keeping that in your heart and keeping it in your mind will also keep you from doing things the wrong way, right? So yeah, question whatever you're doing, and making sure that is my because it's all about, am I ready for this step? I think that it's important that we understand that these are kind of steps, right? If you're not ready for it, then
Oh,
you may need to don't step into it yet, because you may find yourself doing things for the wrong reason, because you're
wow.
still hurt. And that's why it's important that you heal, and then you can move forward, and now you can have your relation or being right, getting on with life, but making sure that you're not doing things the wrong way for the wrong reasons, and that you are going to take advantage of the love that somebody might be offering you, and what they're doing out of love. So somebody may do something out of love, but you're still harboring a little bit of something. And listen, we're still walking around in these meat suits, so we can fall prey to our own machinations and perhaps Machiavellian designs. Be mindful that you don't do that. Keep that in mind. Let all things be done decently and in orders. That's what I take out of that, brother.
I love it, dude. I love it, and it's, I like the step by steps and being honest with yourself, if you will. Of, hey man, am I ready for this step? Am I ready to this phase of the relationship, man? Because you might think you are, but if there's still some hurt in there, there's still, it's gonna be detrimental for you, that's for sure. So I love it, bro. I
Yeah.
love it. Listen, so and another key for us is respecting the duties and don't take it personal, right? So you got a duty. You have I mean, if you want to know why we do not release episodes so constant and at the same day, it's due to Abner, guys. That's the reality. It's his fault.
It's my
And the
fault.
reason
Absolutely.
the reason being is because this fool, part of his duty is to travel all around the East Coast of United States, visiting chapters. That's what he does. He's kind of like, think about it as a
As
nomad. He's a,
as
he's
much
a
as I
national
can.
director
As much as I
as much as
can.
he can. So he's got, dude. This I was just telling someone, one of my brothers, is Abner gone again? I said, "Shit." But he's been writing a lot. Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, how he does it is, like, he got like vacation days per year,
Yeah.
or 365 days of vacation per year. So, that's how it does, man. It's called disposable income.
Disposable income. I'm telling you, hey man, it's my wife. She supports me. She she pays. God bless
I
her.
just
I
said
love you,
it.
baby.
God bless her. No, dude, we were sharing the. No, let me think. This year you did Daytona, you did California, and you did
That was
bipolar or
last year.
Daytona,
That was
maybe.
this year. That was this year. Last year I
Last
did
year
I
you did
did
California.
California last year. This year,
Okay, so
yeah,
this year you did Daytona, you
Daytona,
did Arcadia, you did
Arcadia,
Arkansas, you did
Arkansas.
North Carolina or South Carolina,
No,
and you did
Panama Beach, Panama Beach.
Panama Beach. But you did North Carolina, South Carolina. When was that?
No, I did Georgia. I went
You
to
did
Georgia.
Georgia, okay.
Yeah,
You did Panama Beach, you did Lisbon, and
Lisbon.
you did Arcadia, right? I
Yeah,
already mentioned
again,
Arcadia.
I did Arcadia
Yeah.
twice.
Oh, you did Arcadia
Yeah,
twice.
that's a
Yeah.
turn and burn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That one. And it's a nice ride. It's a
Yeah,
nice ride. It's a really nice
beautiful.
ride.
No,
Yeah.
hey, listen, man, it's a lot of writing, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of ministry, it's a lot of stuff. And some people do the writing, but some people are knee deep in work, right? They're tethered to the desk, they're
Yeah.
tethered to they have to travel, or they have extremely, deep family commitments,
Hmm.
and they're always tied up, right? So that's part of it. That's
Yeah, that,
part
that
of
that's
the
that's
the
that's that's
equation.
the, that's also the, yeah, that's also important, right? To understand that yeah, we want to hang out, but not all the time we can hang out. And in my case, I always gonna go. I'm gonna say, hey, dude, sorry, I can't. Probably I have a meeting, or I have I have this event or that event or this and that, and it happens. It happens a lot. So my ministry, if you will, is a little bit more local, but it's still ministry. So is is that thing that you have to manage, and you have to understand that you are needed in your chapter, and that is your priority. So what is it what is the Bible verse that we put in there?
Philippians 2:4 says, "Look not only to your own interest, but to the interest of others."
Other.
Right. And I think that that's the understanding part, right? That's the understanding of not taking it personal, not thinking, "Ah, man, this fool never has time for me. I thought he was my friend." This is, you know what? You have to be understanding. You have to lean into that. And I want to say the following: just make sure that when you do get together, when you do have that opportunity, be present. Make time for quality time. It's not the quantity, it's the quality. We don't get to ride a lot together, but when we do, we have such a blast. We're there, we enjoy it. We make sure that even if it's a 15-minute ride, a 20-minute ride, we make sure that we have fun doing it. And you were talking about this the other day. It says, man, whenever we get to ride, it's like we haven't stopped riding together, right? We
Yeah.
we we pick up on each other's movements, we flow. And I think that even if it's just a 15-20 minute ride, we leave each other really happy and full. I think that's what's most important. You know what? Don't think about, ah, man, this guy is always busy. He's always doing this. He's always doing that. I can barely see him because we were always together, or we always had these moments. Just make sure that whenever you do have a moment, and I can tell you, man, I saw Bam Bam the other day. He came out for work for like a couple days, and he called me. He said, "Man, listen, I want to see you. Let's get together." And we were able to have, yeah, we went out for pizza at the new place. Um and
The one down there?
yeah, 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 yeah. So we went, we had the pizza, and then he that was right. That was when the airports were they were thinking about
Yeah, they
canceling
were.
flights and this and that.
Mhm.
So he said, "You know what? I don't want to get caught without a flight for tomorrow. Let me just go ahead and move my flight up so that I can leave." Because we were probably maybe going to hang out the next day, but we couldn't. But what I want to say is that we had a couple of hours together, and man, we had such a blast. We talked and talked and talked. We shared a meal. We made sure that we had good quality time. That's, I think, is what is most important. Don't take it personal because they're too busy. Just make the time that you spend with them be worthwhile, right? And what that means is like you may be busy, you may be, take the phone, put it away, make sure that you're present, make sure that you're all eyes on the conversation and just enjoying every minute of that time. I think that would would definitely help you in understanding, hey, listen, man, I know that he's got things, but whenever he does make time for me, it's the good it's the good stuff. I'm
And
getting
I
I'm getting premium stuff.
and I kudos to you and I, because instead of being kind of resentful or something, that we just kind of, hey, whenever you're doing something that is fantastic, bro, which you guys are doing a lot of fantastic stuff, man. And I give you, I said, bro, this is awesome, dude. This is pretty cool, man. I actually love what you guys are doing. Good job on doing that. Rather than, hey, would you say we were we're gonna hang out?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. You
listen,
said, you said we were gonna ride. What happened?
yeah, and to this day, man, to this day, we are not longer riding together. But to this day, man, whenever you make it home, because you're riding way more than what I am, you say, hey, man, home safe. You just send a text message, home safe. I say, hey, welcome home, good and faithful servant. That's my
Yeah,
reply to you,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
And that alleviates a lot of the, hey, man, this you have your duties. Kudos for you for that. You don't want to have a dude around your life, a brother around your life that doesn't really take care of his duties, man.
Not at all.
Not the kind of that's not the
Not at
kind of
all.
person that you need next to you. That's for sure. But
I love that you mentioned that because right, what you're talking about is setting the example, that an example that transcends organizations, right? That's an example that is because we are men of God, and men of God are going to be true to their word. The Bible says that your yes be yes, your no no.
no,
And
we
I
know.
pride
Yes.
myself in having a brother in you that I know that if he says that he's going to do something, I know him to be faithful to his word, and he's going to do it. And likewise, right? So wherever we can stand firm on the fact that, now, listen, I know that if Ozzy says that he's going to do something, his word is bond. He's going to do it. And that's important because we may not be in the same organization, but we serve the same God, and we stand by each other in this life in that sense. And I know you to be a man of your word. So that helps me. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's super important. So listen, true brotherhood, bro, like it doesn't require a patch,
Not at all.
right? Can we agree on that?
Absolutely.
It is easier when you have the same patch. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah. You have a common ground. You have that common thread that is present, right? So yeah, definitely.
But also, we can agree that what it requires is a lot of intentionality. It requires for you to respect the boundaries, and require for you to understand each other duties, and to understand that you guys have something else to is someone else to be. If you respect the thing, would you say that has been key for us, man? To I'm to the point that we're recording a podcast nowadays. Last time,
Absolutely.
le-
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, man, me understanding that you have responsibilities, that you have an organization that requires and leans on your leadership, of course, because I know that we may not be able to spend all the time that we would. But I mean, listen, I can tell you one thing. If I were independently wealthy and I had all the time in the world and all the money and all the resources, we would be spending way more time because I would probably help you to retire. We would be, we would get into some business and we would have something that we could spend all the time together because, right? Who doesn't like to be around with their friends? But knowing that you have your responsibilities and respecting that, of course, it sets the scenario for us to be successful in our friendship and in doing what we're doing separately, although we might be together in spirit because we are supporting each other and helping each other. You don't have to tell me anything, the details of anything that might be going on in your corner of the world. All you have to say is, listen, man, can you help me pray? I'm going through a problem and I need your prayer.
yeah.
That's all you need to tell me. And I don't need to know the details. It's not of import. All I need to know is he needs my prayer. Let's go. Let's pray. And the
And
Lord,
I believe that that has been key, bro, because I venture to say, I mean, I don't want to, I'm not saying that cannot happen, but takes more work and effort. But I venture to say that the reason why we were able to maintain and flourish the relationship is because we have a common ground that is above any patch, which is our Lord Jesus, right? Um, so for us, that I mean, that we, my organization, your organization, surrender to that boss. That
yeah.
he's the big boss for us.
But
So the rest, bro,
the other thing is that, right, we are men that understand the following. It's not about the patch. It's never been about the patch. If we couldn't ride with patches, we would still do what we do, which is to share the gospel to those that ride.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. The patch is just something that we have because it's part of the organization. And yes, we believe in what it stands for and we love it and we enjoy it. And we believe the fact that God has called us to our respective areas of the world where we do ministry. God forbid something happens and we can no longer ride with those patches, that wouldn't change the fact that we love to ride and that we love sharing the gospel. Our
Yeah.
organizations fall underneath that, like you were saying, it surrenders to our obligation to the Lord. It's not about, even if we couldn't ride, we would probably find a way to minister to the bikers, even if we couldn't ride. God forbid something happens and we can no longer ride. We would probably show up in a jalopy, in a hoopty to whatever bike night and just, try to share the gospel however we could. It would probably be a
Yeah.
nice hoopty, probably maybe like, a classic car, something like that. But it's not about the bikes, it's not about the patch. It's about our love for the Lord. And I think that that is exactly what, like you said, that's what's kept us grounded as friends and brothers.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it is
I think that that has been beyond any, and that has been the key for a relationship. To be honest with you, bro. And that's awesome, dude. Hey, buddy. We're closing this one. We've been at it for what 37 minutes or some change. Anything else that you wanna say in closing?
Listen, the only thing I can say is if you're going through that, if you have that happen to you, pray a lot, pray a lot. Ask the God for wisdom, ask the God for an abundance of love and grace, lots of grace, grace for yourself, grace for the others, and be mindful that, you know what, at the end of the day, Lord willing, when we all reach the pearly gates, there's no patches, there's no nothing. It's all the same thing. We're a family, we're the body of Christ. So, you know,
If you make it to pearly gates,
if
to
you,
be
that's
honest.
why if Lord willing, we make it to the pearly gates. I think you're
Yeah,
questionable, but I'm
yeah.
praying
If
for
you
you.
make it to pearly gates, yeah. If you make it to Vegas. So
It's a big if.
if
Oh.
it's a big if. It's a big if. My dude, awesome dude. Awesome time today. Guys, if you like this content, please
Hit it with the thumbs
like,
up.
subscribe. You know what it is. Let us know, guys. Please, we're trying to just we're chopping it up here, but as this is for you guys. So
Be
let us know how
blessed.
we're doing. Be
Yeah.
blessed, guys.